morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Sutu. Good morning to the listeners. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so we're talking about history versus destiny.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. History versus destiny. Our history and our destiny are oftentimes at odds with one another. You may have a vision of owning your own successful business. That's your destiny, but your history may say you tried before and you failed, or there's nobody in your family who succeeded in business. Maybe you want to become a manager in the company you work for, but your history says you've never held any leadership position or you don't have enough qualifications. Maybe you have a desire to get married and have a good, strong, stable relationship, but your history says you are a divorcee or that you've never had a good relationship. And so many times history and destiny seem to be at war with one another. And today, I'd like us to discuss a few points which I believe can help us overcome our history so that we can have a better destiny. And point number one is a quote from Winston Churchill, and it says, "Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." The best thing we can do with our history is to learn from it so that we make better choices. Life is always teaching us. Class is always in session, but just because there's teaching that is going on, it doesn't mean that that learning is taking place. That's why in school some learners repeat the grade. It's because although the teacher was teaching, the learner wasn't engaged and they were not learning. And some people start a business, for example, and it fails because they had the wrong business partners, or they mismanaged money, or they didn't market it properly, and so forth. But when that business fails, they start another one and they run it in just the same way that they ran the previous one, and they're surprised when that business fails as well. You may have been in a relationship with someone who had a particular personality and they mistreated you and you left, but now you are thinking of getting into a relationship with another person who exhibits the very same personality traits. If you don't change your behavioral patterns, you will get the same results and you will keep repeating your history. So, number one, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Number two, history pushes you back, destiny pulls you forward. Some people are so fixated with their history that is stopping them from exploring their destiny. Every time you're with them, all they talk about is their past mistakes or past victories. They're always talking about the trophy they won 20 years ago or how they were not raised right. And although we need to, celebrate our past victories and we need to confront our past heads, it's always better to move forward. If you dwell on the past, we can't move forward at the pace that our true potential possesses. History can hold you back if you keep holding on to it. But if you grab hold of destiny, if you begin imagining something better ahead of you, it will pull you forward. Some people have one leg in history and the other leg in destiny, and this makes them unable to progress. If one leg is going forward and the other leg is going backwards, you'll stay in the same place and you won't go anywhere. But if you want to create better outcomes, if you want a destiny that's better than your history, you have to focus your attention on where you're going and not where you've been. Remember, there's nothing you can do to change your history, but there's something you can do to impact your destiny. So, number two, history pushes you back, destiny pulls you forward. Number three, and lastly, defy your history by designing your destiny. If you want a better destiny than your history, you're going to have to design it. It's not going to happen automatically. In life, all of us are driving manual transmission cars. And if you want to accelerate and progress, you're going to have to change the gears yourself. And if you're traveling on a road and you see the danger signs, change direction. As human beings, we are creatures of habit. And so if we don't make a conscious, deliberate choice to change, then we're going to do what we've always done and we're going to get what we've always been getting. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by the past. All of us have made mistakes. All of us have been hurt. All of us have gone through things, and that's part of the journey. You have to decide whether you're going to allow what happened to you to define you for the rest of your life, or whether you're going to set higher goals, make better decisions, and get to your desired destination. You can defy your history by designing your destiny. In closing, we say that number one, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Number two, history pushes you back, destiny pulls you forward. Number three, defy your history by designing your destiny. History versus destiny.
All right. Thank you so much, Confidence. I like that. Your history does not have to determine who you are or your trajectory in life. But thank you so much for joining us. As usual, we'll be back with you next week, Monday.
100%. Thank you for the opportunity to appreciate it.
Thank you. very much. That is our regular